Hello, this is Nagina Abdullah, and welcome to MCJJ Midlife Conversations. I'm so excited to be here to interview an amazing woman from our MCJJ chapter, and I'm going to be introducing her in just a moment. Let me introduce myself. I am, as I said, Nagina Abdullah. I am the founder of masalabody.com. I have a degree in molecular and cell biology and a graduate degree from NYU. I have worked in my company to transform over 1,600 women's bodies in midlife from a weight and metabolism perspective. And we're going to be diving in today into changes in our bodies that happen in midlife that just seem to come on when we don't even expect them. And so I'm really excited to dive in deeper. I have today here with me Camille Rose-Morissaint. Camille, I'm so happy to have you here. How are you today? Please say hello and let us know a little bit about yourself and your background, a little bit about just what you do during the day and where you are in this phase of life.
Sure. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Camille Rose-Morissaint. I am a 49-year-old mother. I've been in pharmaceuticals for 20 plus years. I have a BS in biology and an MBA in international business. So my day pretty much looks like taking care of my son, working, being a mom, wife, and just enjoying life to the best of my ability. I am 49 years old. I will be 50 actually in next week. So that's exciting. And this year has just been a really exciting year, a year of a lot of changes and fun times.
Yes, fun times and roller coaster times as well, I'm sure, right?
Exactly,
Yes, yes.
exactly.
Yes, and so I know that there's been a lot of things that you have that have changed for yourself, and
Oh, yeah.
so tell me a little bit about as you have been progressing in your 49th year, like what
Mhm.
are some of the things that you started feeling? I know that you said a lot of these feelings started happening about a year ago for you.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about, what has changed for you when, everything was moving along and like what kind of came on.
Everything was just kind of moving along, and then all of a sudden, boom, 30 pounds of weight. I had been working out, doing intermittent fasting, and I couldn't get it off. Also, all the things that I was doing before were wrong now. Hot flashes like you would not believe. So I shaved my head. I shaved all my hair off. It's emotions running rampant up and down, but the hot flashes, the weight gain, um, the sleepless nights, you name it, and it all happened within a year. It just happened. It seemed like overnight. So now everything that I did, working out, nothing works. Intermittent fasting, nothing works. The hot flashes, carrying fans in every purse, nothing works. So I had to kind of figure out for myself. Everyone is different for menopause. Everyone is going through. It's not like it's your own genetic fingerprint. It's that specific. Figuring out how to be normal again is what I've been going through over the past year.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's such a good way to say it, like figuring out how to be normal, just like be yourself again. So, Camille, I want to ask you, so when these things started happening, like did they like what were the thoughts that were going through your mind? Were you thinking like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what am I doing? What is going on?
Mhm.
Like, how did you figure out that something was how did you go through that thought process to realize this was something that was related to menopause? Because sometimes we don't actually know that it's related to
Right.
this. We just think there's other things happening.
Exactly. So what I did was when the weight gain happened, I said, okay, I'm eating the same foods. I'm going to the gym. I'm still active. I'm doing intermittent fasting and I gained 30 pounds overnight. How did that happen? So I went to my gynecologist and I was kind of even weepy and he was like, "Oh." And he tested my numbers and I definitely was in menopause. So he provided this product natural and I wanted to do everything naturally. So I took a product called Bonafide and I went and I did research on, natural supplements that I can take. Bonafide really helped with the hot flashes incredibly. I took it for 3 months, and I'm happy to say I no longer have hot flashes. I decided to not let the hair grow back just because, but I still carry my fans from my girlfriends, but I no longer have the hot flashes. Um, Started taking vitamins, started walking 30 minutes a day. So I really realized quickly when I could not get the weight off like I could before that this had to be something hormonal. And I took the stance that I wanted to do something natural. I didn't want to do anything hormonal, no knock against anyone else that does, the hormonal patches or anything. It just wasn't for me.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's oh my gosh. And I mean, Bonafide, that sounds amazing that it actually worked, right? Because we're looking for things like
Right.
what actually
It
works, what can
worked.
help us.
It works.
So we'll talk more about that. But tell me when you went to your doctor, so tell me about that experience. Like, how did you talk to your doctor and what kinds of tests did you get or what did you ask them to do? Or did they suggest doing any kind of test for you?
They suggested to test my hormones, and according to my hormone level, I am in post menopause, but not at the end. So I'm in the middle. I believe my FSH was about 60. So I'm and to be fully at the end of menopause, I believe the numbers needs to be in the hundreds. So I'm still nowhere near the end. But when he tested my blood, he said, you're going through an emotional shift. You're going through, keep moving, vegetables, exercise. I'm like, I'm doing all of those things. So now it's just a matter of figuring it out, talking to my girlfriends. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you taking?
Mhm.
And just trying to figure out this natural way of doing it. Movement is very important for us. It's no longer the scale moving 5 pounds, it's ounces. So it's celebrating the little wins for me. It's like, oh, I lost 3 ounces. And most people would be like, 3 ounces, no big deal. But yeah, it's a big deal when you're in menopause.
Yes, yes. Wow. And then what doctor was this that did those tests for you? Was it your regular doctor? Was it your OBGYN?
It was my OBGYN, Dr. Anthony Cortell. He's amazing. He's in Morristown, and he's the one that tested my blood and said, yeah, you're going through it, girl. So it was just a matter of how do you want to handle it? Do you want to
Mhm.
do, and because I have cancer in my family history. So I said, I don't want to take the chance. I just want to do something natural. I've worked in pharmaceuticals for many, many years. I've seen lots of clinical trials, and for some people, it works amazingly. I've seen women that have take the patch and they are happy as a pig in mud and their life is normal. But for me, because of my family history, I just didn't want to take the chance. So I decided a more natural method was better for me. And the Bonafide, he suggested the Bonafide. And I took it for 3 months and it helped with everything. My the mood swings. That's another thing that we forget. We think that, oh, we're just cranky or, we're being moms and wives. The mood swings were tough as well. And the Bonafide helped with that as well. Mhm.
Wow. Oh my gosh, incredible. And that's incredible that your doctor did those tests for you. And so sometimes it's important that we have to be an advocate for ourselves to ask for those tests because not every
Absolutely.
doctor will know to do those
Right.
tests. But the fact that your doctor did, it really probably, I mean, it sounds like it definitely clarified exactly
Right.
what was going on. Otherwise, you're not sure what's happening,
Right.
right? So that's really great. And he helped you find a really great solution. Now, when you had that decision to cut your hair off, like how did that happen? Because that seems like it's a very emotional thing.
It is. It was. I mean, my hair was always short, but to go like as short as my husband and my son was a big deal. For my son, I actually bought him a Wakanda Forever stick before I knew that I was going to do it. And I said to him, I said, honey, mommy might come home with really, really short hair. And he said, like the Wakanda woman? And I said, yeah, just to kind of prepare him because he really pays attention to everything, how I look and my nails. And he pays attention to how mommy looks. Like whenever I get dressed up or put on makeup, are you going out with your Jack and Jill moms? He always Jack and Jill is a family organization, mom. I'm getting dressed. Like he pays attention to those things. So it was a big decision. And when I came home without my hair, my husband was like, you look amazing. But it was a big deal to do that. And at the time, I was still having the hot flashes and the 30,000 fans in my purse. And yeah, it was tough, but I had to do it to find some form of relief. I had to
Hmm.
do it.
And that really helped you just to have that so that you
Just to
have
have
that like
that.
extra air
Yeah.
coming in on the top.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's and now you've decided to keep it. I love it. I think you look
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you so
So
much.
yes, and you know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes we have to do this like marker of this new phase in our life. It's
Right.
like, okay, we're facing it head on. Like we're really doing it,
Exactly.
So, okay, so this is so now the hot flashes are really alleviated.
Right.
Your mood swings. So, I mean, the thing about the mood swings is it's very challenging. I feel I'm 48, and so
Right.
it this started thing. I've had a lot of symptoms that have crept up since I've been 44.
Mm-hmm.
And really came to life when I was 47.
Mm-hmm.
And so the emotional changes and
Mm-hmm.
mood swings, especially around children, is hard to know. Did the child do something? Did I
Right.
like is it me?
Exactly.
Is it them? Like,
Exactly.
what's going on?
Right.
So and I think like for me, I realized that it was related to something else because it was happening more frequently. Like I was getting kind of aggravated more frequently,
Right. Right.
adding up. So is that how you kind of were feeling around your family, your
That's
child?
exactly how I was feeling. I was like snappy. And one day my husband, I snapped and Parker was like, Mom, you're really like, I don't know. He was like, you're really different. He was like, all I did was forget to put the juice on the count back in the refrigerator, like little things. So I had to realize, okay, something is really wrong. This is not who I am. Like, I don't snap at my family. I don't, especially for something that small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to. So I also decided to try to take my weight gain and everything else head on using this Omeda app, which helps. It gives you a free coach. Um, Getting on the app, you weigh yourself. There's so many different resources within that app for menopause that actually help. They talks about the mood swings and everything that you can do to help with that. But yeah, the mood swings definitely was something that I needed to address because I didn't want to be that person in front of
Mm-hmm.
my family. And I knew that it wasn't me. It wasn't my child leaving the juice on the counter. That couldn't be something that would make me explode. It was
Mm-hmm.
something else. It was
Yes,
something deeper.
yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Well, that's so great to hear about that app. So, one of the things that's happening, that's a big thing that's causing this kind of snappiness and mood changes is that as our estrogen, one of the hormones that's declining, once that declining is happening, that was protecting us from so many things. So that was protecting us. A lot of it for the mental health side of it is from anxiety and from being able to handle more stress. Like we were able to handle more stress before. Now, since that hormone is declining, smaller things will cause us to our cortisol, our stress hormone, to increase. And so it's easier for us to become stressed out and especially to have this anxiety. I know for me, you're mentioning the example of the orange juice on the counter, and I completely relate to that
Mhm.
because when anything is on my kitchen counter now, it's like I feel like I lose control almost
Right,
because it causes me so much stress and
right,
anxiety that things are on the counter. And there's
right.
actually a lot of proven studies that show that that clutter creates a chaos in a woman's brain as
Yes.
we're going through menopause, and it creates this confusion. And
Hmm.
so that cleanliness, maybe for some people, not for
Yeah,
everyone,
for
it
me as
really
well.
makes a difference.
Right. It makes a
So
difference. Clean, everything has to be clean because in my mind it will get cluttered if there are a ton of things on the counter or if the room is cluttered. Absolutely. I went
yeah,
through the same thing. Absolutely.
yeah. And
Or
so
if my
there's like
pillows are out of order, like something as trivial as that, my pillows are out of order. Absolutely.
yes. Like all of a
Right.
sudden I need to make sure my bed is made every day because I when I walk by
Right.
my room, I want it to be
Right.
like nice and calming as
Correct.
I look at it,
Yes.
not
Yes.
stressful.
Not stressful.
So, yeah, and so the thing is like these are actual biological changes that are
Right.
happening. It's not that it's just us. It's like
No,
it's bigger than that.
it's bigger
There's
than that.
brain changes that are happening. So,
Right.
so yeah, so in order to kind of respect that, it's like to look into, okay, this isn't just me, it's not just me managing my emotions because there's something causing this. So
Right.
let me try to help myself.
Let me try to help. Right.
Yeah. So how have you been able to communicate how you're feeling with your husband and with your son? Like, have you?
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely. And I've asked them, we actually have a code word, Disney. When mommy's getting crazy, just say Disney. When wife is getting crazy, just say Disney. So if either one of them go Disney, it literally triggers me to, okay, stop, pause, what's going on? Take a deep breath. This is not you. I mean, you want to be the best mom, wife, person, daughter that you can possibly be. And you realize these are chemical changes. This is not who I am. I need to be in the moment. I need to be present and I need to know that it's happening because you don't know what's happening. You don't know a lot of the times you don't know what's happening. You just are reacting to orange juice on the counter. Like you don't realize that it's happening. So we created that safe word, Disney. And when
That's so good.
yeah.
And
So
you're
it
aware of it, like
literally,
your
I'm
family's aware of
aware
this. Yeah, and you're aware.
instantly.
Yeah.
Right. When they say that, I'm like, I stop and I'm like, okay, I'm having a moment. I call them my moments. I'm like, I'm having a moment. All right, take a deep breath. I apologize to everyone and I take a step back and I'm like, okay, it's just orange juice on the counter. Camille, just put it in the fridge. Just
Yeah.
it's just that simple. He's 7. Put it in the fridge.
Yeah. Oh,
Put it in the
oh
fridge.
yes, yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And does your husband know what's going on? Like, have you talked
Yes.
with him?
I've
Like, have
talked to him about it. I've asked him, understand patience. I've even showed him this is what I'm taking. This is how I'm trying to get better because I want him to see that I'm not like a raving lunatic and doing nothing about it.
Mhm.
I try to explain to him this is what I my one of my best friends sent him a book through Amazon, like menopause and what to do, and something of like, don't run away or something. She sent him a book and he started reading the book about what I'm going through just to try to have a better understanding of like, this is not who she is. This is something chemical. It's something
Mhm.
that's going on in her mind, in her body
Mhm.
that you'll never understand or relate to, kind of like they don't know about childbirth. So it's very similar to that. So
Wow.
he,
Well,
yeah.
that sounds so supportive. I mean, he sounds so
Very, very
like as we're going through this, it seems like first of all, we don't know what's going on, right? Like this is
right,
like feeling so new. There's just
right,
the education and information, and it's not really clear to
right.
understand what's happening. So we
Mm,
don't even know what's going on. But then as we start
right.
uncovering it, it can feel like a lot of pressure if our family doesn't understand what's happening.
Correct.
But yes,
Right,
we do have to explain to them, even though we don't know all the answers, just kind
right,
of share what's happening and hopefully they can also be aware of this,
right. Exactly.
and know that this is a change that's happening. So
Right.
I know I do try to make a point to bring this up. My son is 16 and my daughter
Aw,
is 15. And so
mhm,
as I was going through this, I realized I need to tell them what's happening because when they
right,
get older, I want them to understand, like when my son is married and when my daughter's going through this, I want them
right,
to know this is a phase that happens and
right,
want to know how to work through this. So I
right.
keep trying to talk about it. Of course, my son, a lot of times because he's 16, rolls his eyes. He's like, Mom, I don't want to hear about perimenopause again. But I'm like,
Of
I need you
course.
to know this.
I
This
need you
is
to
a
know
thing.
this and
This is an
understand
important
this
thing.
is right. This is
This is what's
important.
happening to mom right now.
Right,
So
right,
I don't want to be mad at you. I'm trying not to, but I'm also going through a lot of changes and things have happened.
right.
So when we can talk about it, I feel like it makes us feel less alone.
So much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
But yet
Having that
he's challenging.
dialogue.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It is like we have to put it forward, but that's great. So great. Your friend sent a book and your husband is was reading it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so great.
That's so
Um,
great. He's so
so
supportive. So supportive.
yes, yes. So now tell me a little bit about like what do you feel like? So right now you've been able to manage your hot flashes. Can you tell me a little bit more about like what Bonafide is? Like what
So
is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a natural supplement that is used. You can use it for any kind of symptoms that you have. Um, whether it's your mood swings or the hot flashes or whatever you're going through. And I took 2 of them a day for 3 months. And when I tell you, I noticed the change in my mood swings, the hot flashes are gone. The hot flashes are gone. So it's been, and I'm no longer taking it. And it's
Oh, okay.
natural. It's natural. You don't need a prescription for it. You can literally go on the website and get it. And it worked for me. It worked for me. And I'm happy that I'm not like walking into a room and like profusely sweating with really short hair. It's just like, are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Pulling the fans out constant. I mean, I constantly was profusely sweating, just standing, just not moving. it was so uncomfortable. And then your makeup's running, and then you're emotional, and then you're in the bathroom, you're crying. Like, people don't really understand what this really is. So talking about it is really important to me, and sharing my experience is really important. So the Bonafide was natural, and it was my path. Everyone chooses their path. Like I said, everyone's journey is different, and it's like a fingerprint. No two paths are going to be identical. So whatever you choose is what you choose, with no judgment. Whatever works for you, with no judgment. It's important for us to support each other and be there for each other, and
Yeah.
speak to our families so they understand, I'm
Yeah.
going through something. Please be there for me and help me.
Yes. Well, that's so true. It's like, we're just trying to figure out what are the options? How can we help ourselves? So this is so helpful
Right,
that you
right.
found that Bonafide has helped you. We're definitely going to link that supplement in
Awesome.
the show notes. And then also the app that you've been using for
Right,
fitness, movement,
right.
accountability, right? That's how it's been helping
Definitely.
you. That's a huge thing. So we'll link that also. So Camille, what is kind of like do you have something that you feel like I still want to work this out, or I still want to, you're
Yeah.
still in that process. I mean, I know that you're figuring out so many things, but it's so great because you
Right.
seem like you've moved so far ahead in so many
Yeah, I have.
areas. But what are those other areas you're trying to, is there anything else that where you feel like I need to feel like myself again?
I'm still working on the weight. Like I said, it came on overnight, and it wasn't an eating issue. So I'm trying to have like mini celebrations. Like, you lost 4 ounces, and it's like 10 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, I'm celebrating like it's 10 pounds, because those little ounces. So I'm moving every day, even though it's like really cold. I try to take my dog for a walk, 30 minutes if I can. If not, then I go to the gym. I joined Hotworks Yoga, which is like hot yoga, Pilates, ISO, you name it, which is right around the corner. I got my sister who's also going through menopause, and we do it together. Um, so just celebrating the little wins, the small wins, drinking 64 ounce and drinking my water every single day, making sure that I get plenty of rest at night, little wins. So every day I try to celebrate my little wins. The
Hmm.
couple of ounces, the woo, you drank all your water today, and the woo, you had all your protein today, and woo, you moved today. And there are going to be days when you just feel like, I don't feel like moving. I don't feel like, but celebrate the mini wins, the 2 ounces, the 3 ounces. If the pounds don't come, the pounds will come. They come in ounces. It's not, you're not the same person that you were.
Hmm. It's
So just
very different.
celebrate. Yeah, it's
Yes.
very different.
That's so true. I mean, it definitely takes like so much effort, and losing a few ounces could be very equivalent to losing
It
10 pounds
is. It
because
is.
it's totally changed, it's
Yeah.
and this is something, I also experienced. I gained 20 pounds. I felt like it was
Oh,
overnight.
wow.
I literally have
Right.
the weight chart because I was tracking my weight, and it shows
Right.
that it went up. And it
Right.
was so surprising, but a lot of it, as estrogen is declining, it's also releasing so much inflammation. It was protecting us
Right.
from inflammation. So now
Right.
a lot of the bloating that we might feel around our
Mm-hmm.
stomachs is that inflammation, all of these things called cytokines that are being released due to
Mm.
us not having that estrogen protection as much anymore. And
Right.
then fat increases as well, because when we eat sugars and carbs, it gets absorbed, it gets
Right.
stored as fat
Right there.
much more quickly. And so we
Mhm.
are more sensitive to sugar and carbs. And so, like you're mentioning, adding more protein,
Right.
that's such that balances that out, that helps it so that
Mhm.
you're not storing as much sugar. So
Right.
these celebrations are key, and just knowing, like, keeping on moving forward, and then trying to find that right that kind of the right formula for your body. It can absolutely happen. It's just like not giving up, because
Right.
it's and just not thinking it's a sprint either, right? It's not
No,
gonna
it's not a
happen
sprint.
overnight.
It's not a sprint at
Yeah.
all. At
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, well, this has been so enlightening, Camille,
Thank
and
you
this
so
was
much for having me.
so courageous for you to share everything that you've been going through. But there's so many women that are experiencing this, and I'm
Mhm.
just so happy that you have been able to just share what you've been going through, because it can feel very lonely if you're not able to
It
talk
can.
about it and hear from
It
others.
can. It can. It can. And at first I was just like, do I really want to come forward and say anything? And I'm just like, yeah, I do. I want, and I hope that I can help other women, and I hope that other women whether you know me or not, if you feel comfortable, please talk to me because I will share my story with anyone and hope that it's helpful.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you
Well,
so
Camille,
much.
we are going to be, all the resources you shared are just so invaluable. I mean, you already
Awesome.
tried them out. You know, it's like you sometimes you don't know where to start. So now we have
Right.
some great resources. We'll link
Right.
those. And then definitely anyone that has any questions for Camille at any point, I know that you would be open to that. And
Absolutely.
we're just so happy that you were able to listen and
Thank
watch
you
us
so
here
much.
today. So thanks, Camille.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.